This is my safe space. Those are words I have said in my very first video on this channel. Creating this channel, I wanted to, well, the very first intention was to be able to join the conversation about tarot, about cards, about life and spirituality. But I wanted to create a place where I could talk about those things in a safe environment for and to people who could understand this path. Because in IRL, I don't have that many friends who are interested in neither tarot nor spirituality. So I created this channel as a safe space for me. But then I realized that creating this safe space for me, I let myself expressing myself in a very fiery way. I am passionate about things, and I take things to heart. And I realized recently, I was thinking, I took a break from making videos. I don't remember when was my last video. It must have been many months. I think it was in more than 6 months, more than half than a year. And I was thinking lately, and I realized that creating this safe space for me was creating a space that was not necessarily safe for others. I don't regret anything that I have said. I mean, when I say something, I think it in the moment. But it's not because you want to say something that... It's not because you want to say something that you should, and it's not because it's your truth, or even the truth. That means that people watching the videos are ready to receive it. So... And this was never the initial intent. The initial intent was to join the conversation and being able to talk about those things I cannot talk to people IRL. And so I was thinking, and again, I don't want you to think that I feel remorse or that I feel sorry for anything that I have said. I think that everything I have said was felt, and I felt like I needed to say it at the time. But now that I took a few steps back, I'm like, yeah, the world is shit right now. The world is shit right now. And I think that we all would use a little bit more kindness. And as a good person, and I know everybody on earth think they're good, even the worst people, they would say that they are convinced that they are good. But being good, in my opinion, is not having negative traits. Well, everybody have negative traits. Being good is being aware of those negative traits and working on them, as opposed to, in my opinion, bad people who notice the bad traits and just want to force people to accept them as they are. They don't want to change. I think we are here to evolve and we are here to get better at being human and interacting. And so I want to do better. I want to do better. I want to spread love and kindness. And I really want to focus on that. And I know if you're watching this you and you know me from earlier video, you may think, well, you used to be a bitch and you probably still are. I'm working on that. And I would argue that, yeah, anyway, I want to focus. I want to become a better person and I want to focus on kindness. And so I'm here, I'm back because lately I've been chatting with a lot of tarot friends that I made thanks to this channel. And I thought, wow, I do miss making videos and talking about stuff I like and cards and life. So here I am. In this video, I'm just gonna show you a couple of things that I've been enjoying lately. And then I'm gonna make more videos about decks. So stay tuned. Something happened in March. I made my very first international travel. So Canada is very big and I have traveled all the way from coast to coast. I lived in Montreal, I lived in Vancouver, I visited many cities in Canada. I love going to Toronto for a little weekend. That's the city I visited. That's the city I never lived in, but I visited the most, and I love Toronto, as they say. But yeah, I traveled a lot in the country, but it was the first time that I left the country, international travel, and it was my very first passport, which was both stressing and exciting. And so my very first travel was in London. I loved every minute of it. Every minute of it. Except when we are in a restaurant. Hey, kindness. But I just want to say that when we are in a restaurant, me and my friend, I traveled with a friend of mine, and we wanted to pay separately. It was always an issue in every single restaurant we went. Paying separately doesn't seems like something that they do in Europe, from what I heard. I mean, I just visited London, but from what I heard in Europe, it's not something that is done very frequently. As opposed to here in Canada, we're like, okay, 2 bills, that's it. They bring you separate bills and you pay you pay separately, so it's easier. But that's a minor detail. I really enjoyed the city, and I would love to go back to London. While I was there, few things happened. Well, we went there for one specific reason. We wanted to see cabaret. I love cabaret. Last year, I had the chance to see 2 different productions here in Canada. So there was one in Toronto, and then one in Montreal. And they were different. It was not the same show touring. It was not that. It was 2 different productions. So it was very fun to see 2 different takes on my favorite play ever. My favorite play, my favorite musical, my favorite anything that happened on a stage. I love cabaret. And if you live in the world in 2026, I highly encourage you to I say 2026 because, what is happening right now. But I think any time is a good time to see cabaret. It's how It's basically a very, very fun play with very, very good, fun, catchy songs. And then we realized that we are in Berlin in the 40s. So or maybe late 30s. And so the Nazis are rising and taking control and taking power. So, it's like we're having fun, and then whoops, politics is important apparently. Whoops, who you vote for was a mistake, and a lot of people died. And you know what happened in Germany in the 30s and the 40s. But yeah, so it's both. It has everything: love, jokes, fun, good song, good make you happy song. Like, I listen to those songs so often. And then you also have the tearjerkers. Oh, this guy here, he was so fun. I don't know this actor, but he was so fun. He was playing with us during the entr'acte, interval, entr'acte, intermission. During the intermission, he was playing with us in the audience. We went hard. We bought very expensive tickets to have a table near on the side of the stage. So we were like, go hard, because that was the main attraction of our travel. So, and I have to admit, this is probably the best production I've seen, but it's also the most expensive production I've seen of cabaret. The thing is, cabaret doesn't have to be expensive. Like, high school production of cabaret will still be very good, because the cabaret is not supposed to be an expensive place. It was supposed to be a shitty hole in Berlin. The Kit Kat Club is supposed to be a shitty hole in Berlin. But so yes, it's always good. But this was for sure the most expensive, high budget production I've seen of it. And it was amazing. Amazing. But like I said, if it's, this is in London, and I think it's the very same show that is in New York. I'm not going to New York for obvious reason. But if you can see it, this production is awesome. But like I said, even if it's just the high school near you that has a production of cabaret, go see it if you've never seen it. It's so important. Yes, it's important. It's something that everyone should see. And we might not have been in the situation we are right now if people have seen cabaret. Next, the last show we saw in London was Cynthia Erivo, Dracula. This is it's kind of a cliche to say this, but it really is a tour de force. Tour de force. Cynthia Erivo, this international star, is in this play, playing all the characters. I don't remember how many characters she plays, but she plays basically every single characters in the book, and she kind of read almost the entirety of the book on stage. It's crazy how much, no, not the entirety of the book, but a lot. And it's crazy how hard and difficult this project was. The amount of text that she had to memorize and that she had to play on stage. And also she's playing with herself, because there is projections. While she is on stage, she is filmed, and then there are projections on a screen. And so we see her live on stage, on the screen, but also pre-recorded things. So it's, she's playing with herself, and the level of ingenuity that there is in this show is crazy. And she switched characters, and she's so good. She's so good. And I just have admiration for her because, she was in Wicked, the movies. She's an international star. She could have chose a simple project, a project like she could have been Elphaba on stage, or she could have played, I don't know, Donna in Mamma Mia or whatever. She could have chose the safe route. This is very difficult. This is like watching someone running a marathon for 2 hours. It's crazy. And on top of that, it's kind of experimental theater. I mean, I'm not sure we could call this experimental, but it is. It's not classical theater, so not everybody will enjoy that. Actually, I think there is some people who was complaining that it was not the show they thought it would be. And so yes, it's not for everyone. But wow, this was incredible. It was for me, for sure. It was for me. And it was risky. The level of work and the level of risk that this represents, I just have admiration for Cynthia Erivo. She really won my heart with this play. It's still in London, if you can see it. Maybe it's gonna tour. I'm not sure if Cynthia herself will tour, but I wish I could see. I wish I could see it again in Montreal. And this director, Kip Williams, he also did Portrait of Dorian Gray. And is it Portrait of Dorian Gray or Picture of Dorian Gray? Portrait. Portrait? No, Picture. Because in French it's Portrait. Anyway, Dorian Gray. And it is also with one woman on stage. I think it was Snook, Miss Snook, I don't remember her first name, who was Dorian Gray. And she played all the characters. Same thing. Projections, screens, one woman on stage playing all the characters. And I wish I could have seen that because I love Dorian Gray so much. But this was incredible. So I would keep my eyes peeled for the occasion to either see this again or see Dorian Gray. And while I was in London, look what I found. Look what came back in my hands. The Wild Unknown. And also the Angry Beaver. Remember Angry Beaver? The paws, the teeth, the eyes, the angry eyes. Anyway, yes, so I don't know if you remember this. It was a long time ago, and my video is not available. By the way, okay, this is a parenthesis. I have watched, I continue to watch TarotTube. And from time to time, I hear people saying that, oh no, they will never delete a video. And I don't want to take it personally, but sometimes it feels a little bit personal. Because I do delete the videos. And don't get me wrong, I understand why it may be frustrating. The very first videos I saw on Tarot and Oracle was the Tarot collection video and the Oracle collection video that Samantha Manzos did. And I loved those videos. It was fascinating to go back to those videos because at the beginning, I didn't understand. I didn't know. And then watching them again after many years, I was like, oh my God, I understand. It was like new videos because I understood so many more things that she was talking about. And so I have a big nostalgia for those videos, and they are no longer available. It's sad and frustrating, and I really would want to watch them again. But in the other hand, Samantha does what she wants with her content, and I do what I want with my content. And I don't want people to think that because I privated or delete. I didn't delete them, by the way. They are still there. They're just privated. But just because you cannot see the videos anymore, that doesn't mean that I regret them, that I want to hide them from people. It's just that I just don't feel like I'm the same person anymore. And yeah, I want to move on. And that's my way to move on. And that's it. It's not against people. It's not like, yeah, it's not an attack on you. It's not something I do because or against people. It's just something I do for me. And this is, like I said, this is my safe space. This is my place. So I do what I want. So I'm sorry I'm sorry if it bothers you, but that's what feels right for me. So that's what I do. Okay, so I don't know if you remember a while ago, I said I made a video saying goodbye to the wild unknown, because the wild unknown was my real first tarot. When I was a teenager, a guy sold me Tarot de Marseille. Like I was asking tarot for beginning, and he sold me a Tarot de Marseille because in French culture, this is the basis. This is the basis. This is what you start with. Is the Tarot de Marseille, and we didn't even heard of the Rider-Waite-Smith. Like the French culture was really protective about anything that is Anglophone and anything that is, Anglophone and British or American stuff. So I was pushed Tarot de Marseille, and of course, I opened the box. I couldn't understand anything. All I had, I didn't even have a book. I just had the little white book, the little booklet inside the talk box, and I couldn't do anything. And it was not images that I was interested to deep dive into. It was not pleasing to the eye. It was just boring to look at, and I could not find any interest in it. So that was tarot for me. And when I was a teenager, I put it in a drawer, never thought of it again. But many years ago, I came across, many years later, many years ago also, in 2020, I came across, anyway, long story short, I came across this deck, and I realized that the images are a lot more pleasing. Even this, even if this is it is in a lot of ways a pip deck, the Wild Unknown, but there is stuff in the images that can help. Yeah, it was helpful to remember the meaning of the different cards. Can I find another? Let me just find another. See, this is a pip card, but if you think about it, the cups are covered by this rat. The rat is very over it, like literally. So if you think about the Four of Cups, you could see, once you know the meaning, you can see it in the card, right? So and then this was my first deck, and then I made a video saying goodbye to that good friend. But then I was missing it recently. I was missing it, and I was like, oh, do I buy it again? You know, the big box that is useless, the guidebook that is useless to me. So I just want the cards, and I don't know if I want to buy it again. But then I found this copy in London in the only one esoteric shop that we found. We stumbled upon it. It was, by accident. And they had this copy. But wait, the best part is this back. It is not. It is an indie indie version. It is the first. Well, I don't know if it's the first edition because it was written on the box. Like they had a sticker saying earlier edition. So it's maybe not the first edition. If you are a Wild Unknown expert, can you tell me which edition this is? I would be very curious. I think it's a first edition because of the backs, and I love those backs. This is something I wanted, and it only comes in this box here, so it doesn't come in the big box with the big book. It's just that, and there's a piece of paper here, like a map telling you what the card means. I'm not using that. I don't need that. But yeah, if you know... Oh, and I also have this Seven of Cups. I know this is one of the earlier edition. Again, I don't know which one it is. But anyway, I don't care if it's the first edition or the second edition. I don't care. I feel so grateful and happy that I have found this copy of the deck that is just the box, that is the beautiful backs, and the great cardstock. It is a very good cardstock. It's way better than the mass market one. The mass market one is fine. It's fine, but this one feels very special. And yeah, so I kind of fell back in love with that deck, and it's like seeing an old friend you haven't seen in a while. That's the one thing though, the Justice cards in the new edition, Justice card have the trans flag colors on the background. I wish I had that, but I don't want the mass market one. I really feel lucky to have this edition of it. And there's no... Is there a date? See, this is the copyright there. So I don't know. I don't know what edition it is, but it feels really great in the hands. So there's that, and I'm very glad I found it. You know when you're asking yourself, should I get it back? Should I not? And then you just, by chance, stumble upon a copy of it. It's great. Great. And it was cheap, too. Not cheap, but affordable. It was only £35. So, it may be around $60 Canadian. So yes, it's kind of expensive for a second-hand deck, but it feels like new. It looks like new, and it's an indie version of it, so it's really not that expensive when you think of it. The other deck that I also get back is actually the first deck that caught my eyes and eventually got me to the Wild Unknown Tarot. It's the Wild Unknown Archetypes. But here's the thing. I got the mini. So I had it. That was the first deck that I got. I had it. Then I let it go, stupidly. But I'm happy that I let it go because I got the mini. And this mini is better in every way, in my opinion. I was kind of scared or afraid. I was kind of afraid that the images would not be as interesting to look at in a mini version, but no, they are. Thing is, it's actually shuffleable, unlike the big one. I don't have the useless big box and the useless guidebook, though I do have the guidebook here. I keep it, but to me, like, I feel archetypes are so big and archetypes are so big and big in energy that I really don't need the guidebook. Like, if I see the cave, I don't know, I feel it. I feel the cave. I feel the eternal child. I feel the fault line. Like, I don't need someone to explain it to me. but I do know that a lot of people enjoy the guidebook. So anyway, the guidebook is there. The only thing is, I was thinking I might get rid of the cards like these, like the last 8 cards that are supposed to be big mystical energies, but I don't know. I don't like them, and any time I pull one, it's kind of a struggle, and I try to work with that struggle. Like, why am I disappointed? I get this, whatever. But it doesn't speak to me. It doesn't speak to me like the rest of the archetypes do. And the thing I like to do with those cards is to shuffle them like this. So I try to work around the tripod, but like this. And this is so fun to do. It feels sensual, really sensual. It feels good in the hand. And since they are small, it doesn't take too much space on the table. And you can shuffle them and really think and meditate while you're doing this, and you're kind of enjoying the motion and the sound. It almost sounds like the sea, the waves on the beach. You hear that? I don't know if the mic is catching this up, but it feels so good to do this. And then you pull. Sometimes I will catch a card while doing this. It feels like magic. It feels like doing magic, really, which it kind of is. Or sometimes I will just put it back together. And since they are round cards, they are very easy to put back together. It takes a second. As opposed to regular cards where you have like some on the side, some standing up, some on the side, and then you try to put it back together. Since they're round, you saw me. I did it in 1 second. And then, like any other decks, I would fan them and then find the one I want to have. The forest. Beautiful, beautiful. So I really enjoy having this mini. And so this is so funny in this case, the Wild Unknown case, because I used to have all of these decks. I used to have both of those decks. And then turns out I got rid of them, and I was missing them. And then while I was thinking about getting them back, I found them both in a better version for me. So this is better for me than the mass market, and this new edition, pocket edition, is better for me than the original large one. It was so hard to shuffle too, right? Anyway, so this is a lot of fun, and like I said, really the motion. I did it quickly here, but I really take my time and I shuffle it, and it becomes, very sensual, very watery. So it's a lot of fun. Books. Some books I have read and really enjoy since 2 books. Actually, I'm going to start with the movies. I'm sorry. So I have 2 movies I want to talk about. The first one is actually a movie in 2 parts. It's an Indian movie. It's Durandar. This is part 1, volume 1. And it's so good. It's like part Kill Bill, part James Bond, part The Godfather. It's kind of all of those 3 movies in together. Like there is spy action, there is gory, excessive action too. Action. There is spy stuff happening, and there is also mafia. Like, well, it's not mafia. It's a dangerous gang that is infiltrated. But there is kind of this group of criminal, kind of like The Godfather, which rules and family. So those are the themes that are in this movie, and it's so good. And this guy here, his name is Ranveer Singh. Ranveer Singh, isn't it? He looks like, okay, this is his picture on Letterboxd, but he looks nothing like that in the movie. Like, he have long hair, big beard. Here he looks nice. He looks kind and nice and funny. He looks nothing like that in the movie. He looks like a very brutal Jason Momoa. He have long hair, big beard. I don't think he smile at any point in those movies, and with reason, because it's really dramatic what's happening in those movies. So the first movie I saw I gave it 5 star. It's everything I can wish from a Bollywood movie. There is very good music. It's aesthetically, it's incredible. Action, the action is out of this world. It's crazy. The direction is wonderful. There's so many great, beautiful, luxurious shots. It's amazing. It's 3.5 hours, and when it ended, I was thinking about it and I was like, I would not have cut a single minute of this movie. It's great. And then this is available right now on Netflix, by the way. And I saw it in theater at the beginning of the year, and I was waiting impatiently to see it again on Netflix. And I saw it on Netflix right before I saw Volume 2. Here. Volume 2 in theater. It is in theater right now. It will be on Netflix in a couple of months, I guess. So it's Durandar, The Revenge. But it's not a sequel. It really is a Volume 2. The both movies were made together. And it does resemble, it does makes me think of Kill Bill in a lot of ways, not because of the story, but because of the structure. And this Volume 2 really makes me think of Kill Bill Volume 2. Because of the structure. It starts with a long flashback that explains the motivation of the main character. And I'm not gonna say anything else, but at first I gave it 4 stars. And I've only seen it once, and like Kill Bill, it's just not what I was expecting. Like the first time you see Kill Bill Volume 1, you're like, oh my god, it's crazy. Volume 2, heads will explode. Like you expect even more than what is in Volume 1. And then it turns out it's just 2 people sitting at the table and talking. So at first it might feel disappointing, but it's actually very good. It's just not what you expected. So the second time you see it, you're like, okay, I understand, and I have the right expectation for this movie, and I understand what he was doing, and it's good. Turns out it's good. So I'm kind of in this same situation here. Like I was expecting fireworks, and there are fireworks in this movie, but the ending is much more psychological, much more slow. But there is a reason for that, and I understand it, and that's why I want to watch it again, because it's I think it's worth it, and I think the choices were very good. But I want to see it again. I may give it 5 stars the second watch. So that's the my big movie crush this year is Durandar. Love the entirety. It's 7.5 hours in total, both volumes together. And I cannot wait to watch it again. I cannot wait to watch it again. I love this saga so much. There is one thing though that I have to mention talking about this movie. I heard a lot of people talking about these movies being propaganda, these movies being unfair to certain people. The sad thing is, I'm not informed, I'm not cultured enough to know about this specific conflict. I don't know enough about this specific situation. And I don't even know enough about the geography. So to me, it was just pure fiction, pure fun, no second thought about the real world issue while watching these movies. But I want to mention that because, some people are affected, and I don't want to undervalue their feelings, their opinion. I think, everyone is valid and everyone should be able to express themselves when they don't like a piece of art or react. Art can be very visceral, and some people can have a very visceral reaction to a piece of art, and I think it's valid, and they should explain themselves. But like I said, I'm just an ignorant white man, so to me it was just fiction, and I liked it. It was a lot of fun. Another movie that I have watched this year, actually 3 movies, and I really enjoy all of them. It was the Oslo trilogy. It's available on Criterion Channel. It's the Oslo trilogy. I will find... Oh my God, let me... Whoa, I'm way too far. I love... Oh, I've seen Amnet. This is a movie I've seen in theater. I really enjoyed it. I'm not someone who cry at the movies. Like, music make me cry. That's why I do enjoy musicals, because music have the power to make me cry. But movies in general, even sad movies, don't make me cry. But I did cry at the last scene, the very long last scene, the theater scene in Amnet. That got me hard. I was crying like a baby. Okay, so the Oslo trilogy, I try to find the director is, can you see it? Dag Johan Hoggerud. This is terrible, but of course he's Norwegian. And he made these 3 movies. Sex is the first one. You can watch them separately, independently. It's 3 very different stories in the vein of 3 colors, blue, white, and red. Bleu, blanc, rouge. Yes, the French trilogy. So it really is similar to that in the structure, but it's very different in the topics. Sex is the first one. Those are 2 straight friends. And the movie starts with a long dialogue, a long, fascinating dialogue between the 2, where the first one eventually confessed that he just had sex with a man. And so we follow him in the movie and how his wife will react to that and what does it mean for him. He's not gay, but it was an experience, it happened. What does it mean for his marriage? What does it mean for his feelings? And it's very psychological, very interesting. And the other man, then he goes on his journey, and he's like, okay, but my friend just had sex with a stranger. The fact that the stranger in question is a man is not relevant to his portion of the story. But he's like, okay, my friend had an affair with the stranger, and I cannot even make love to my wife anymore. I don't really enjoy sex. What does it mean to me? And, like I said, it's very psychological. And so this movie is a lot, of course, about sex. It's the title of the movie, but it's not a movie where you see sex. It's not a sexual movie at all. It's a people talking movie, but it's fascinating. It is very psychological, and I loved it. And then Dreams, that's the second one. In Dreams, you follow a teenager who is in love with her teacher, who is also a woman. So yeah, it's kind of, I think it's my least favorite, even though I really loved it. Out of the three, it's my least favorite, but I really saw myself in that character, because when I was a teenager, I was in love with one of my male teacher, and I was imagining things, and I was seeing myself with them. Kind of crazy. You know how teenagers can be crazy. And the last one is Love, and the last one is very, very heartwarming. This story here, we have two stories in that movie too. This one is a woman who is a doctor, and she tried to find love in the wrong places. And he is a nurse at the same hospital, and he meets this patient, and he really want to help him, and he get close to him, and it's just beautiful, heartwarming. And yeah, so I really recommend the three movies. I recommend you watch it in this order, even though every movie are independent, but they are amazing. Three beautiful movies, and they are available on Criterion Channel. Lastly, I'm going to talk about books, and then I'm going to shut up, I swear. I've read many books. I've read 20 books since the beginning of the year, but not that many that stuck with me. The first one is, I've read it in French, but it's an Australian book. It's Picnic at Hanging Rock. This is the French edition by Joan Lindsay. So this takes place in Australia, and it takes place in 19 the year 900 I'm sorry, 1900, that's the word I was looking for. So it takes place in the year 1900, and it takes place on Valentine's Day, which is very interesting because I've read this in February, but I've read this in February, so around Valentine's Day, but it was very cold. It's winter here, but there it's very hot. It's warm, and the fact that it's hot plays it's an important factor in this story. So what it's about, it's a bunch of girls from a private school, girls' school, that goes to Hanging Rock for a picnic, and then four of them disappear. Eventually, one of them come back, but three of them disappear. And before you get, this is a very liminal read to me. I think it's the right word, liminal read, because it's very mysterious. We never know what happened to those girls, and you should know this before you get into it. It's not a mystery novel. It's not there's no police in this book. We don't find clues in this book. This is not what this book is about. Three girls disappear, and we don't know what happened, but the book is more about the lives of people who remains and what happened after their disappearance. It's so interesting, it's so intriguing, it's mysterious, there is motives that comes back. The number 3 is very important in this book. 3 people ended up disappearing. There are well, I don't want to spoil anything, but the tree motive is very important in the book. It was written not long after we started to talk about the Bermuda Triangle. The triangle is one interesting figure in the novel, but yeah, so it feels like the author was inspired by the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle, you know, the disappearance, the number three, and all that. In the triangle itself, it's a geometric figure that is important in that book. So it's very mysterious. If you get into it, you have to be ready to not expect any answers because the book won't give you any. But it's still very interesting. It's very airy, very liminal, like I said, and I love it. And now that I have read this, I want to read it again because I want to find clues. That is not really clues, but you know, I want to pay more attention to all of the little details because maybe they may reveal more, or yeah, there is more than the eye can see, I feel. And the other thing is that there was a last chapter that was published that explained what happened to the girls. I haven't read it, but I know what it says. I know what happened to the girls, and it's completely unnecessary. It was a very good idea to cut it from the novel. You don't need it. You don't need it. I mean, if you read the book and then you're curious, like me, you will investigate and find it and get to know what it is, but it really is not necessary because the book is not about that. The book is about people who remains. Very good, very weird book. And the other book that I want to talk about is I haven't even finished it yet. I am at page 710 out of 900. And it is The Morning Star by Karl Ove Knausgaard. I think I say it right. Karl Ove Knausgaard. Or like I call him, Cock. I said I want to be kind. I've never said I wanted to be mature. So anyway, this is a writer. He was very popular for a series of books that he wrote that was autobiographical. He was talking about himself and his life. I haven't read that. This is pure fiction. This is all fictional characters. And this is my French copy. It is translated from the Norwegian, but you can find it in English. It's called Morning Star. And it's a series, but every books are independent. And from what I got on the internet, every books are independent, and but there will be 7. The last one will be published in Norwegian this year, I think. I think it's coming. It's coming very soon. And we have only 2 in French, but only 1 in this format. The only one is the big, large format. I'm gonna wait for the push, for the mass market, I think you call them, the floppy books. I'm gonna wait for this format to be released, because I want to read them all in that format. And they are really big books, and the large format is very heavy. And I traveled. Actually, I started to read this book the day before I traveled to London. So it's gonna be, forever linked to my trip to London. I read the most of the first half of this book on the plane, right? So yeah, and I've read parts of it in London, like right before I sleep. So I was in that universe while I was in London. It was great. And so what is it about? in this book, you have, I don't know if you'd say this in English. In French, we have this expression that is roman choral, which means choir book. And we also have choir movies. What it means is there are multiple point of views. So in this book, it's not only point of views, but narrators, because the book is written in the first person, but you have multiple narrators, and they switch every now and then. Every 50 to 60 pages, they switch. Some chapters are shorter, but most of them are at least 50 pages. And so you really get the time to know the character and to enter their world. And what happens is that there is a big star that is close to Earth, and that makes weird things happen. And the whole book takes place in 2 days. So, there's not a lot happening, but it's so fascinating. It's a psychological book. It's a lot more about the psychology of those characters and what they are going through than the mystery of what this star does. Like, it's not maximum overdrive, the comet that makes the trucks alive. That's not what's happening in this book at all. But yeah, and it's philosophical, it's spiritual. There is a beautiful reflection on Morning Star, the title, which is it's a reference to this big star that is close to Earth, but it's also a reflection of the 2 people that are named Morning Star in the Bible, which is Jesus. He has a nickname, Morning Star, but also Lucifer Morning Star. And so Morning Star referred to these 2 people in the Bible, and it's so weird, and not weird, but it's interesting. It's really interesting that those 2 polar opposites have the same nickname. And so it kind of dives into the irony of the living experience, the difference. Anyway, it's great, and the writing is wonderful. If you're not sure if you want to read it, just read the first sentence. This is in French, find it in English, but just read the first sentence. And if you don't like it, you're not going to like the book. But if you're like me, you're going to fall in love with just the first sentence. And, I haven't even finished it, and I think I could say it's my favorite book of all time. Like, it's up there with Toni Morrison. It's up there with Marcel Proust, In Search of the Lost Time. It's up there. And it has everything that I could ask from a book. Like, it has mystery. It has a tiny bit of horror. It's psychological. It's intellectual. It's spiritual. It has everything I could ask. The only thing is that it's not gay. It's really not gay. It's very straight. And, if there was a little bit of queerness in that book, maybe just a trans character or something, then it would be the perfect book for me. So it's not gay, but homosexuality aside or queerness aside, it's a perfect book. I love every minute of it, and every page, every sentences of it. And I have 200 pages left, and I want to finish it because I love it so much, but also I don't want to finish it because I love it so much. So this book has a big impact on me, and I'm very happy I stumbled upon this book. And it's Norwegian. It doesn't takes place in Oslo, but Oslo is named a lot, and I made the connection with the movies I saw earlier. Like, I show you a black screen. What? the movies I saw earlier this year, the Oslo trilogy, and I'm like, damn, I should go to Norway. I should go, I should visit Oslo. That would be a nice trip to do. Now that the world is open to me, you know, now that I did that first travel. So, yeah, that's the likes. That's all the likes I had since in 2026, since the beginning of the year. I should have started with cabaret anyway. So this is it. Now I have a little project. More videos are coming because I want to deep dive in decks that I really enjoy, and I'll do that. So more videos to come very, very soon. Bye.